I'm Brianna and welcome to Off the Board with Pineapple Papers. You can see the pin that I took from Pinterest up in the corner, and what really drew me to it was these circles. And you can see those in the inspiration pin. And what I did was I made these on my Cricut. So I actually searched donut, and it was a double layer. So it was kind of matted with another one, but I just took that away. I did these, and you can see they look pretty much spot on to what's in the pin. So then I went into my embroidery floss and I pulled out corresponding colors that go with this paper, and I'll show you. This is from Vicki Boutin, and so I just kind of grabbed what I had. Now, I don't have a lot of embroidery floss necessarily, but I kind of keep my eye open at like secondhand stores like Goodwills and stuff, and I grab my floss there. So I thought I would just show you a little bit of how I wrap these around. Like I said, I cut them out of white cardstock. I just put some ATG adhesive on here, and now I'm just going to show you how I wind a little bit. So I did these ahead of time. There's no real rhyme or reason to how you do it, and I just started off by sticking it to the adhesive. I hold it so that it's not going to pull off, and then I pull it through my donut. And this is where, you know, you just kind of have to eyeball it and see how it looks, kind of try to be random, but you can wind it around like that, and then you can come back and do it at a different angle and fill in some of the spots. And then when you're happy with what you've got so far, you just, that one's going to move a little bit, you just keep going then. So I am going to go off camera. I hope you can see that okay. I'm going to go off camera to finish this, and then I will speed up the rest of the video so that you see how it's done. So I actually decided to keep this in. It's such a big part of this layout. I thought I'll just finish it while I'm talking. The pin was pinned by Dana Crittenden, and there's a hashtag of Colorcast Designs. That's kind of as far as it goes. It does send me to Instagram. Um, anyway, so yeah, this is just how I did the color or the embroidery thread. The one thing I want to note is that this blue is a little brighter than I would have liked. I did, and even that yellow, and perhaps even that kind of the rusty color, but well, and there's the magenta on the other one, but I was just working with the embroidery floss that I had, so um and it did match the circles, so without having to go out and buy new embroidery thread, this is what I've got, and I think I did a good job when I tuck them into, put them into place, because they're going under the photo and stuff too, that they don't look quite as vibrant. So there they are, complete. And again, I did not tie any knots or anything like that. I just glued them down to the back. I'm going to take this photo of Meredith. So the photo is of my middle daughter. She was volunteering at a church down in Illinois. It was part of her schooling for her master's, and they put this in the newsletter. I just trimmed off kind of where it says it's in the newsletter, and then the little blurb that was underneath her picture. I'm going to totally forget about those things because I'm going to bury them, but you will see them on the finished layout, and I do move some things around uh, after the video is done, but before the final pictures are taken. This is where I kind of try to decide where I want to put these rings. I, I, yeah, just something fun that you don't always see. Did I already say that Off the Board is like my favorite series? I know I've said that I've watched Stretch the Sketch and I really love it. I would say Stretch the Sketch is my second favorite. And then maybe, not that I should rank them, but Stamp It Like It's Hot, since that's my own series, that comes in third. Yeah, top three anyway. So here is where I'm going to look at the pin for inspiration and place down the circles that I've already used. I have a Creative Memories punch that I just punched those out, and it worked perfectly. You wouldn't have to use circle paper. You could certainly use whatever. You could stamp. You could just take patterned paper and make circles out of it. Um, you could watercolor them. The possibilities are endless. Oh, and that reminds me, the background paper is just out of my stash. It could be a Recollections, or it might be Craft Consortium, but it was the paper pad was torn apart long ago. So I pull out these Vicky Bouton. There's a postcard and kind of a journaling spot. And I decided I was, looking at the photo, I am going to use this pattern paper. You can tell that I had cut like a triangle out of it. So I'm gonna trim down just with my scissors uh, the pattern paper in the background. And then it's missing like one corner because of the funky triangle that it was in. So then I'm just going to bring a little piece that I've already cut off of that pattern paper, and I will underlap that. I'll overlap the other piece on top of it so that it looks like it's a complete piece of paper. But first I'm going to take these circles and spread them around, get them where I want. And normally I think I would use my ATG adhesive to get these down. I use my liquid glue. And so then once they're down, I mean, there's wiggle room, but once they're down and I leave them there for a hot minute, they're down, which is going to work fine. But it's just not something normally I would do. Instead, I would use my ATG adhesive, and then if I decided to move a cluster somewhere, that would work. Please make sure to check below and see everybody else that is playing along with Off the Board with Pineapple Papers. Not everyone is doing a technique. You can do anything you want. So anything for inspiration. It can be a mood board, it can be a sketch, mixed media. It can be anything. So it could be a recipe, and because of the recipe, you get inspiration from it. Absolutely anything. So it's always fun to watch that. I feel like I learn a lot. And I tend to do things that I don't usually do. So I've done watercolor in the past, or kind of like folded flowers, and things that would that take me a little bit more time. But I do take the time when it's from this Pinterest board. That's where I'm covering up the corner, so you won't be able to tell that it's two different pieces of paper matting. I'm going to make sure my placement for those circles is where I want them, and then I will adhere them down with the ATG adhesive. Once I get those down, then I will make sure to trim off the circles that are going off the edges of the paper. And I kind of pick it up too, just to make sure is everything stuck down. If anything shifts, then I know that I didn't glue it properly. So I'll just trim those off. It's always good to go off the paper a little bit. It gives it that movement look and that randomness look. And then from there, I'm gonna, look at the inspiration pin and try to find out, like, find a title and find that strip that's gonna go up on top there. I felt like this piece, I know I'm gonna have like a kind of a thin title. So I felt like by putting this like coffee ring down there, it kind of brought that all up and it made it look more cohesive. So I'm going through my Vicky Bouton items. I find this that says your adventure story is only one step away. So I know I want to put that there. Then I have this little circle, little sticker that says tell the story. So I'm put that on the opposite side. So I've got the story kind of one side and on the other side. I like how this piece sits there. So in the inspiration pin, there is like a notebook punch. So this has got some of that, and it's also got that flag that says you got this. And I thought that was perfect for this page. I'm going to take a little bit of foam tape because those rings with the embroidery floss on them sit up kind of high. So I'm going to put the foam tape right in the middle of that photo so that it goes in between those rings and it just sits flush like that. And that works well. Off to the right there is some Vicky Bouton stickers, which I forgotten about. I want to use that dream sticker for the title, but I kind of forgot about it. So I'm gonna glue these pieces down to the top, and then I will go back looking for like more of a title that goes underneath the photo. I'm gonna trim that off to make it fit the length of the photo. And that actually takes me a very long time because I trim it off once, it's a little bit too long, and I'm just struggling to get it just right where I don't want to take too much off of it and it be short, which in hindsight
wouldn't have been so bad if it just was a little short. Anyway, I will go ahead and glue down the Your Adventure Story is only one step away. I will also put foam on that so that it sits over the ring um, like it should. I have one more base page to finish for this month, and I know we're getting down to the end. So be watching for that before the end of the month. I'll have a layout share the last day of the month, and I also will be sharing those color boxes for you, both the scrap pieces of paper and embellishments. Okay, so I found all these circly word bits. That one says this life. Oh, and then I do remember I'm going to use dream. It says dream boldly, and I think that's perfect for this page too. So I'm going to glue down this life. I'll put my title down there. And like I said, that title there is going to move after I turn off the video, but before the pictures. I'm looking for something to go up on top where the camera is. So I want some kind of an icon. I found those envelopes, but I didn't want to use that. I found the compass. Um, it's a little bit bigger than what I wanted there. And then I find these other word circles, and I want to use these on the page since I already have so many circles. So got one there that says sweet soul. And the one on the right says pure joy, and that one says live and love. And then I thought, well, I'll just use a camera for up there. I also snuck in a black sticker that's up at the top there next to the circles, and it says love this so much. I had one more circle that I had punched out to use, and I decided, and that this one kind of disappears because it's got the blue on the bottom. So this one has a blue on the top, but I overlap them with each other, and that bright yellow kind of calls your attention that there is another circle over in the lower corner. I'll get the camera down, and that's about it for me. So I want to thank so much for spending your time with me today. I hope you have a fabulous day, and please come back and see me again soon.